And today I'm going to show you a key feature of Through, which is the keyword clustering. Keyword clustering is a great feature when you want to create content plan. It helps you group keywords together and analyze key topics where you should focus on. And I will walk through this feature today and show you step by step how you can create a content strategy by leveraging keyword clusters. The goal is to create a content strategy. And I will take an example of Through, in fact. So Through recently, I built a new feature to analyze and scrape AI overviews. I won't speak about that today, by the way, but I need now to create new content around this topic, obviously to promote, to attract people to my website, and as well then to link this content to my landing pages that you can see here explaining the feature. So basically, this is the goal, right? We will do that together, building a content strategy around the topic of AI overviews. Also, what I will show you at the end of this webinar is this Excel sheet where you will see the different topics and as well the actions and the priority that you should do. So for instance, this Excel sheet has some formula and will highlight the articles that you should create with the priority. So I will share with you that at the end. I will show you also how it works. And hopefully in a few months, this logic will be directly integrated into Through. But yeah, you will be ready to have a try and check how it works for you and give me your feedback. So as I said, I need to create a content strategy around the topic of AI overviews. And the goal is to, I like to show you this, diagram here. We will start from a long list of keywords. Then Through will group the keywords together by SERP similarity. So if you're not familiar with SERP similarity, basically that Through will compare two keywords, or I mean, the set of keywords, one against the other. And similar keywords means keywords showing the same SERP, more or less the same SERP. So when there is 4 URL or plus in common on the SERP, they are grouped together. Then it will create these clusters, this group of keywords. And ideally, we need to select the best one. This is why also the priority sheet will help you. We will need to select the best one and then select the future article we want to create. From then, creating a content brief, writing the content, and finally, we will have a set of content related to a specific topic. And I believe it's quite important, especially in 2025, when we to focus really on a specific vertical, on a vertical topic, and to try to cover all the question, long tail about this topic, to also be to increase your chance to be displayed in the AI search, like AI overviews, AI mode, and all the other LLM that's really a fancy, let's say, long tail search, or they promote long tail search and the fancy article answering these queries. So this is basically what we try to do. I have already a list of keywords, and I will show you at the end also of this webinar how with Through you could also create list of keywords. So we won't cover the keyword research now. I will directly jump into the keyword clustering. So if you don't know Through yet, I mean, if you are not yet a user, you can go on this page or through.com, create an account. You can start for free. Sign up, create an account. You can do one cluster for 500 keywords. And then if you want to do more, you can simply subscribe and use the credit to create a cluster. So now I will log in into my account. And here you can see the interface. Again, I'm not covering all the features of Through today, like the SERP analysis, the content brief creation, and so on. Even though we will cover a bit, we will see this feature, but we will deep dive on the clustering feature. You can also optimize, like do audit of your pages, and as well, there is some API with Through. You can also do bulk analysis of the SERP, and as well create brief in bulk. To create your first cluster is quite straightforward. You can click here, or as well click here on creating cluster, and you will end up on this view. Here, what you should do is to drop your list of keywords. Select get to list of keywords. I have here my list of keywords. You put a name, you select, oops, sorry, it's not the right one. So I will start again, sorry. So I will just take this one. Here you put a name. You select where the keyword is in your column. And where the volume is. So basically, if I show you my initial list, so it was like this. I had like 2 columns, one with keyword and one with volume, right? So you have to mention when you upload the keyword. You don't see the Excel file. Sorry, yes, I just noticed that. Anyway, so you understood that in the Excel file, there were 2 columns, one label keyword and one label volume, and you need to move on. Sorry for that. I just noticed that you didn't see the Excel file. Then you can move on. You can select the SERP, because again, the clustering process is based on the SERP similarity, right? So it will compare your keywords on a specific SERP. Here I will choose the US one because I want to write for the US market in English. So for me, it's okay. But if you are in any country, it will work. If you're in France, in the UK, you can also have local search. So here I'm in the US. I will select the US one. The device I keep desktop. You can also choose mobile if you prefer, but to some extent you might have more or less the same SERP. Then also you can include the domain. If you include the domain, you will get some statistic about this domain. So I would recommend to choose a domain. It doesn't cost more. Finally, you can review your list of keywords. And all of them, again, I repeat myself, but all of them will be compared against each other, okay? So then you click here, creating new cluster, and you can start the process. Here in this list, I have like 300 keywords, or 400 almost. I mean, it will take 2 minutes, something like this. And also you can see it costs credits. So with True, you get credits when you subscribe, or so when you start with the free trial, you have some credit. To cluster 1,000 keywords, you need 50 credit. So you see here, to cluster 400 keywords, you need 20 credit. All right, then start creating a new topic cluster. You click here and it will start. Then you can see all your cluster directly from here. So here I have all my previous cluster, and I have this one that I just created before, obviously, AIO batch 2 with almost 400 keywords, and it has created 253 cluster. So here you enter the view where the main information are a bit down. You need to scroll down. I will explain the statistic later on. But here what you can see is the topic cluster, or keyword cluster. So here, for instance, you have one cluster called AIO Overview Analyzer, and inside there is 2 keywords. Here there is another one with 3 keywords. Here there is another one with 4 keywords. And here you can see that basically these 4 keywords here are different, right? But they display more or less the same SERP. This is why they're grouped together. You don't need really to care anymore about the keywords, the individual keywords. What you need to care is about the topic of your future articles. So now that you are here, our goal is to create a content strategy, right? As I said, I have this page here, and I need to create supporting blog posts to promote my page. So obviously from my blog post, I will link to this page, maybe with a click to action or stuff like this. But now I need to create authority around the topic of AI overviews, and I need to pick the right topic. Here you have some filter, and you can play with them to find the right one. So you can first check where you are already ranking. So it will display all the cluster where you are ranking between the ranking number 1, between the position number 1 and the position 100. So you can then play with the ranking position here. I can see the top 10. But basically in the top 10 here, I'm already in the top 10. I don't need to do anything. I don't need to create, let's say, an article about AI Overview Analyzer. I don't need to create an article about AI Overview Extractor. You see, so these topics, let's say, it's just to see where you're already ranking, but you don't really need to focus on that. Where you should focus is more where you're not ranking or not ranking well. So here you can also select where you're not ranking. And here it's like, I could call that greenfield topic, because you have none of your article yet is, let's say, generating keywords or it's generating traffic or even impression for these terms. So you can check where you're not ranking first. And here you can click on the little icon here and select your favorite. So let's say AI Overview SERP. Yeah, why not? It can be a nice topic. I will select it. AI Overview Tracker. Yeah, okay. So I will select it. Then I can also go back to where I'm ranking. And the goal also is to identify cluster where there is already an article ranking, and I will go into detail of that to explain you how it works. So there is already an article, for instance, for this one here. I will select it as well. And we will figure out which one it is very soon. But there is already an article, I repeat, ranking for this cluster. But as we are ranking as a position 75, we might need to create a new one. So here you can play with the ranking position. You can also play with the volume. So you remember when you upload a list of keywords, you will have to associate volume for each keyword. And then here you have the aggregated value of the volume, so of the search volume. So also you can select cluster with more or less volume to also start to set your priority. This metric page rank is maybe a bit misleading, but it means domain authority. So I need to relabel this one. But here you can also identify cluster or low-hanging fruit. Every cluster has an average page rank, so you can see the strength or the level of competitiveness of this cluster. So you need to identify your page rank. Here is mine is displayed here. Through.com domain is not that strong yet. So I know maybe that I should not try to play in the big league with the big players, but maybe I can play a bit with the slider here and identify a cluster where the page rank is between, I don't know, 40, 60, something like this. I think it's something that is quite reachable for me. So you see you have different way to select a cluster, also by the size, if you want, like cluster with a lot of keywords. So here you can basically use the filter to select your cluster. But to summarize, I would like to suggest to start with where you're not ranking. So here is greenfield. Then you play a bit with page rank to figure out cluster with low competition. You select them. I never play personally with the volume. Then cluster size as well. I never play with that. Then you go where you are ranking. Here you forget about the top 10 or top 20 because you're already ranking well here. And then you check 20 plus and you select articles, right? And then you can also do the same logic and play with the page rank and the cluster size. What also you can do, if you want, you can hide some cluster. If you don't want to see this one, okay, you hide it and then it won't be displayed anymore. You can display the hidden again here. You can hide as well the singleton. So the singleton is cluster with only one keyword. It happens sometimes based on your initial list of keywords that you will have only one keyword inside. And it's fine, by the way. Huh? It's not because like here, I only have one keyword that I will skip it. I think it's a good topic here. Even if it's alone, it's fine. I mean, the goal is not to have cluster with a lot of keywords. The goal of this tool is to help you identify topics to create your next, your content strategy. You can read out all the filter here, and at the end, display your favorite. So here now I have my selection, right? So I selected these clusters, which are potential future articles. Also, you can click here to display the table view, and here you have another view where you have the topic, the category. I will speak about the category later on. Again, the size, average position, and so on, and some actions. You can also scroll left and right if you don't see everything. I prefer this view, to be honest. So now the point is that we need to analyze some of the cluster and first identify which article is already ranking and to see if we need to create a new article or if we need to optimize the existing article ranking for this cluster. So here, I will analyze this one. There is 3 keywords, right? These 3 keywords. And you can click here and through will perform a cluster analysis. If you're familiar with the SERP analysis, you will see the same view. It's really the same view. There is minor differences, but if you know the SERP analyzer, you will be familiar. What is important to understand is that the content analysis is based on the consolidated view of 3 SERPs. So here there is 3 keywords. So the 3 SERP, through is creating a consolidated view, an aggregated view of the SERP. It's mixing 3 SERP together to create a new top 20 of these 3 SERP. So here the table you can see, it's the best pages for 3 keywords. If there is 10 keywords in my cluster, it will be 10 keywords, obviously. So it's quite interesting because here you can see in average who are your competitors for this set of keywords. And from then, you can start to analyze your competitor. You have the average position, you have the page rank of each of them. So page rank is level of competitor, of competitiveness, number of words, images. When you click on a competitor, you can start understanding their meta information, on-page information, headings, and so on. Now our goal is to identify if we should create an article for this one. And as I said, we already have an article ranking. If you click on keywords, you will see your best page. So my base page here is scrape and analyze AI overviews with True for free. It's basically this page, right? So this page right now is already ranking for this keyword or for this cluster AI overview analysis, but in average as a position 25. So I would like to say that this page, which is basically my landing page, or it's a tutorial, it's a kind of, how to do something with True, explaining how to scrape and analyze. I don't think that this page is really the best page to rank for AI overview analysis. And when you just quickly look at the title, AI overview study, AI feature, this is a Google page, AI overview, what are they? I can really see that my page doesn't answer this intent. So clearly here, I need to create a new page. So then that I know I identified I need to create a new page, I can start going deep in my analysis. You can check the keywords. It won't tell you a lot. It will only tell you for each keyword of the cluster, which is your best page with a position. Then you can see all the competitors as well here, but you can also find them here. Then it starts getting interesting here. So when you see here, you have like all the top topics. So True is extracting from the, let's say from the AI, from the list here. True is extracting all the frequent terms found on pages. So similar to the SERP analysis, True is extracting key terms. And then now we are in the ideation phase. We need to start to think about what topics, information we should include in our content. So clearly here we need to start to look at each topic in detail. You can also click on one and you will see in the context of the page, how is it used. Also this view here show you what is unique to the top 3. So for instance, the top 1 is only one speaking about personal context, deep search, mode search, AI mode search. So here maybe something to include in your copy to also include this unique angle. Here you can see SEMrush, second one speak about zero-click behavior. So also maybe you see it's only one speaking about that. So maybe something to include as well in your copy. So we'll also cover this unique angle. And here you have all the topic. Then we continue. We do the outline. So the outline tab will display all the outline from your competitor. So again, here you can figure out what is the best format, the headings they use. There is as well another tool here called Heading Analyzer. You need to trigger that on demand. So you really have to perform this action when you're on the SERP analysis. It will analyze all the headings with some vectorization thingy behind, and will group the most frequent headings together. And then you can see that, for instance, this one is used by 2 page, and you can see, yeah, exactly the most headings used. And again, use that at your advantage. Questions is really a great one, because here you can see the question extracting from the PAA. But remember, there were three keywords. So three PAA. So 3 SERP means 3 people also ask box, right? And here you can see that 3 is also grouping the people also ask together. So over these 3 SERP, this question, what is the AI overview strategy, is displayed 2 times. So you can also figure out from Google perspective what are the key questions, and maybe provide an answer or directly use this heading in your article. Also, through it's extracting most frequent question from headings. So here's again a focus on the headings, H1, H2, H3s, but it extracts only the question. So you see you have different views to really figure out what to say. Usually my approach is when I analyze a SERP or when I analyze a cluster, I spend, like, say, 5 minutes going through all the tabs and really trying to do my own brainstorming, right? To understand, okay, what should I speak about? What angle should I take? What new things I should bring into it? So this really helped me to understand how I will shape my article. To continue with the content analysis, there is also another one here, another AI tool, also that you need to trigger on demand. It's not automatically here when you open a SERP analysis. This one will analyze the content of the top 10. And you will analyze paragraph or passage, if you want. I mean, it's quite trendy to speak about passage, and this is exactly what SEO is doing. It's analyzing passage and the most frequent one. So this is a summary, and here we have all the paragraphs that are from a, let's say, semantic perspective similar. And you can see that sometimes it happens that in the same article, in the one number 3, this one, some passages are similar. It's fine, you can do that. You can have redundancy in your article, nothing wrong about that. But Through Zone is collecting all this information for you at scale, and then displaying the most frequent group of text or the group of passage, again, to give you advice of what to include. I would like to make a break about, again, my content strategy or my content philosophy. I don't know how to say that. When I create a content, obviously you need to answer the search intent. Otherwise, you won't rank. So I like to explore my competitor. I'm not copying them, but I take inspiration to, let's say, cover the same topics as them. In an article, I would like to say that 80% of my content is more or less similar from my competitor, but you need to also add 20% that is different, right? So here with the topic, we discover that we can analyze the top 1, top 2, top 3, and find out things that are unique to them, and maybe bring that to our content. So also to bring this uniqueness, because uniqueness doesn't mean that only one is using it, but few are using it, right? And this analysis here also highlights new ideas. So you can, based on what it knows, based on what Through knows from the SERP and from the content analysis, it will give you some ideas to include in your content. There is 15, 18 ideas. Not all of them are good, obviously, but why not using them to include maybe a specific angle, a new perspective in your content. So use that, and you might find great things to include in your content. So you see, with all these tabs here, you can really perform a deep analysis without moving away from Through. Finally, few other tabs, I will go faster here. Related searches, also the same story. They are grouped together. Images from on page. If there is images on page, they are displayed here, so you can also see the graphics used by your competitor and the visuals. Videos, only YouTube videos are extracted. Here it seems that there is no videos. Also for you, kind of maybe hint, I recommend to enrich content with videos, with your own videos. So maybe here it could be good to also include a video. Also here at the top, by the way, you can see that you have some other metrics, words on average, page rank, etc. So now I did this analysis, right? And I would like to say that I want to create a content for this specific topic. You can move to the next step with through and create directly from through a brief. I will go quite fast on that because, as I said, there is a specific webinar about content brief creation next month. By the way, I do every 2 months I do a cluster, and then the month after a SERP analysis and content brief. So if you are a subscriber and you are in the newsletter, you will receive some invitation to the next webinar. But here, directly from the SERP analysis, I can create a content brief, and I can select a template. With through, you can basically structure your brief in different templates, so you can have different layouts, etc. And now I'll move to the interface where I can create a content brief. Again, I'm an SEO strategist. I need to create a brief that is pre-filled and that I can finalize with picking title here, inspiration, generating title with AI. I really go fast here, sorry, because it's really not the point to generate a brief here, but I can show quickly a few things that you can use AI to generate title. Also the outline here, you can see your competitor. Again here, the questions, the headings, you can click on them and they will be display or push here. And finally, as well, you can generate AI outline based on organic, based on the SERP, based on the keyword, and as well, you can even force a type. If you want, for instance, a FAQ style, here we will have like question and answer for our outline. I will just let it finish. And I will replace the content. I save. So here are my outline. Obviously, I don't do outline like this, and I spend more time when I do an outline. You have the PAA again here. You have on-page question. You have top topics. You can add more. You can add more if you want. And finally, competitor analysis. This is my template. You can create template with more or less elements. And at the end, you can share that with a writer, and he will have overview like this. Sorry, I took the French version. And you will have a read-only public view of the outline, and you can start creating content. I go back to the main view. So what I done here, what we have done so far. We uploaded a list of keywords, through us group them together. Then we play with the filter to select potential articles to create. We analyze the one where we believe we need analysis. When the ranking is above 50, you know you need to create a new article. Where you need to be more focused is between the top 20, top 30, top 40. Here, maybe you need to optimize your existing article. But then we select some cluster, we analyze them, we create a brief, and so we have the full content workflow. Through is not creating article, through stop at the brief creation. Later this year, we might have a feature helping you with content creation. But so far, we can help you already with all the stage, like grouping, selecting, creating a brief, and then you have nice article with AI touch and a human touch. Yeah, so that was one way, and this is, let's say, the most common way to analyze a topic cluster and to also identify topics to create, but I will show you more advanced way. You have another view called the hub view, and here it will basically, this view will group cluster together, right? So here, what you can see here is basically the category of the cluster. If I come back here, I see here a category, and also here I see a category, right? So the hub is a category of cluster. So here is not a keyword, it's a cluster. And this is done by AI, so every cluster has been categorized based on semantic. So here, you have to double check, but it can give you already a sense of what kind of categories or pillar page you could create for this specific set of keywords. So maybe here one around free tools, one about AI overview guides. Here is more about SERP overview. So again, it gives you some insight about potential categories. You can also play around with them, move the cluster around. The other view is more for, let's say, share of voice. You can see inside the cluster who are the most, let's say, dominant players. It's also linked a bit to this stat here. So here, my domain, 5% visibility. It means that my website, my domain is visible on certain cluster over 253, right? So I'm not really visible a lot in this top 20 list, that has been created by Through. Then there is also another metric versus the keyword directly. So my website, my domain ranks 26 times in the top 10 of the keywords. So it can give you a kind of, feeling of how strong you are already. So clearly here, I need to work more, but also it can give you a feeling of who are your competitor and the level of, let's say, the share of voice or the topical coverage, I don't know how to call that, of each of them. Now let's move to the next one, pages. I like this view, it's quite interesting, and I will try to explain that in a good way. It's basically, I would say that it's flipping the view, even though it's not really flipping the view, but I explain it that way. Here, what you can see is your pages and for which clusters are ranking. Let me just focus on this one. This one was our article, Scrape and Analyze AI Overview. It's my only article so far speaking about AI overviews, right? So this article is ranking for already 15 cluster, okay? So 15 cluster means more keywords, right? At least 15 keywords, but ideally maybe 20, 30, I don't know, 40. So this article is already ranking for 15 cluster. And you can see here in green that it's already ranking for AI Overview Analyzer, which is good because this is really the target keyword here. AI Overview Extractor is maybe another way to search. So you see different intent, but my article is ranking for 2 intent, which is good. It's fine. Ideally, we say one article, one cluster, which is true. It's a good practice. One article, one cluster. But if at the end your article is ranking for more cluster, it's fine. It's more when you select your strategy, you should not create like 2 articles for the same cluster, right? But now in this view, I go again. It's interesting because you can see also that here is ranking for AI Overview Analyzer 3 at the position 12. Here, maybe I should improve my article to include more the term free, or to highlight that, you can start working or using Through for free. And then also you can see here the one where I'm not ranking well, AI Overview Analysis. So this article, so in the eye of Google, this article is the best article answering this cluster or this search intent. So here again, I can see that clearly I need to add that to my favorite. It was already here. So you can see this view is really quite cool because you can figure out per article for each clusters are ranking, and for each what intents are already answering, and how to optimize the current article or create new one. Finally, you have 2 other tabs that are just the list of content brief for this current cluster, and as well you can audit a page. By the way, when you are on a specific cluster, you can audit an URL, so any URL, but you can also audit, when you go here, you can audit your best page, and Through will go through the audit feature and tell you how you can improve this page. So yes, we cover the main feature of Through, and I have a few things to show you still. So I guess, and I hope it was clear for you, the goal of this feature. And now I will show you something like basically 2 things, how you can use Through to create or to generate keywords. And then finally, I will show you also how to use this sheet, and I will also share it with you in the channel, in the Slack, in the chat later on. So now I didn't tell you how I get keywords for this page. I don't use SEMrush or Ahref. I had already, this page is already ranking on Google, but to be honest, so far it has been published like, as you can see, 1 month ago. I don't have yet a lot of traffic to this page, and also it doesn't generate yet a lot of keywords. But now I just need to, to share my entire screen, otherwise you won't see the Excel file. So I will share my entire screen now. So so this page was already ranking for few keywords in the Search Console. So this was the initial, this one here was initial report. Okay, so this exact report here, maybe I will make a zoom in case it's not clear enough. This was the initial, let's say, list of keywords coming from Google Search Console. Okay, so not a lot, really not a lot, 17. You cannot really build a comprehensive content strategy with 17 keywords. You need more. I needed more keywords. So I developed a little strategy, and I will explain what I'm doing. From a landing page like this, I'm generating what I call seed keywords. Seed keywords is basically just a list of 20, 40 keywords that represent potential searches. And for that, I'm using AI, ChatGPT, to generate these seed keywords. Basically, I'm telling ChatGPT, giving the text. Here, I put the text of my article, and I ask him to. Well, I have a prompt here that's easier to read. I basically ask him, identify main topics from this page, potential user searches. I know ChatGPT is not using Google Search, but it can figure out some searches. Identify pain points, identify potential questions. The idea is that I get a list of seed keywords, right? So here was this keyword about AI overviews, potential searches, pain points, and some questions. What I've done, I put this list here. Well, sorry, I was too lazy to remove the blank, but here is basically the list from ChatGPT. Then what I've done, I did a first clustering with through. Why? Here you can see my first clustering. Why? Because in fact, when you do clustering and when you download the report, I will show you the report, by the way. The reports are quite cool. I cannot open the file. It's already open. Okay. So the report is quite cool because first you have like, I'm sorry, because first, well, quickly go through the report. So you have first, again, the same thing, like the category, the cluster, all the info that you have in the main interface are also in the Excel file. Keywords, the size, the volume, the average position, your best page, etc. You have other views, but you have something really cool is that for every keywords in your initial list, through is also extracting PAA. So here I have like a list of, there is basically 4 PAA per keyword. So you can see I have like from 50, I have 160. And also I have the same with related searches. And usually there is 8 related searches per keyword. So I have even a bigger list of related searches. So I did the first clustering just to, in fact, collect PAA. What I'm showing you right now, that is done manually, will be soon automated in Through as well. So you can drop a list of keywords and automatically Through will enrich your list of keywords. I will share you this sheet. Yeah. So you will automatically, your keyword will be enriched. So what I do, I basically extend my initial list of keywords with the questions, with all the questions and all the related searches. So then from the first batch, I create a second batch. This is why it has been named batch 1. And I repeat, the batch 1, I only use it to generate keywords, right? And to extract PAA and related searches. I combine my initial, yes, I basically, I concatenate the keywords, the question, and the related searches to make a huge list. So yeah, I will share you this article right now. We have all the steps explained what I'm doing right now. So you can basically have a look at this later on and maybe apply the strategy. And as I said, what is now manual, like this concatenation, I hope end of summer it will be automated in through, so you can just drop a list of keywords, even a small one, and through will extend it automatically for you. Right. So basically, this is how I build this long list. And also, what is cool with this strategy, what I like is that it extracts real time, let's say real life data from the best index in the world, which is Google search, right? So you have real time questions and you will get all of them in through. One little advice before moving to the last priority sheet, as I call it. When you do your initial list of keywords is quite important to make a good clustering. If you go too broad in your initial list, the result might not be good. You really should be vertical on a specific topic already in a list of keywords. So this is my recommendation. Don't go too broad, otherwise the result might be not that good. All right. Now the last, let's say, step in the process, or the last thing I want to share with you is this priority sheet. And I will share you with you like in 5 minutes. Don't worry, guys, you will get it. So here I created this sheet to, in fact, tell me what to do. So here you can see a column called topic, a column called keywords, a column called size, a column called volume, a column called average position. Here you have your best URL. Average PR means PageRank is competitiveness, right? This is in fact coming from the through report. And here I have 2 columns, actions, where there is a formula, basically based on your average position and PR. And if you have a page already, a ranking, I'm telling you here, no action, you already rank well. And then I highlight as well where you need to create a new article and link from this one. So basically here, the AI overview analysis here will be a new article that I should create. We already analyzed this one. And I will have to link it from the previous one, right? Because it makes sense. They are semantically quite close. So through is also telling you, I mean, this sheet is telling you to link this article to the new one. Also with some priority based on the level of competition. So I will share that with you, and you can basically use it and play with the formula, but just how to basically fill the data. This column here come from through. So when you are here, when you are on one of your cluster, you can download the report. I do it again. And then you go on this tab, the topic cluster tab, and basically what you see here, you remove the category, you remove his favorite, and then you have topic cluster, keyword, size, volume, average position, best URL, average PR. You copy this and you put it in this this column here, and automatically you will have like the action updated and the priority updated. You can also play, as I said, with the level here. Nothing is automated. Sorry, you could have created like an additional tab with the parameter, but you know, this is something I would like to introduce in through as well. Not this sheet, obviously, but later this summer, having an AI agent that will analyze for you the cluster and do all the processing at your place. So analyzing the cluster where you should basically create a new content, analyzing cluster where you should optimize an article, telling you internal linking between articles and future ones. So this is really something that will come in the next 2-3 months into the keyword clustering tool. And so hopefully I will get your feedback on the sheet. And so you can tell me also how to shape this sheet. So guys, I drop the link here and I'm done with overview of the clustering tool.